Technology, thank you for being the initiative. And my dear friend, Dr. Sangeeta, Head of Department.
We are accredited to the United Nations, ECOSOC, Economic Social Council, and we are with the observer status with United Nations Human Rights Council. So I've addressed many meetings and I've attended conference, and I'm so happy to see such young minds present today. And I've been celebrating the International Women's Day. I'm very fluent in Tamil, so it's long since in English I have to present this paper. So, but anyway, I'll try my best. We have been celebrating the International Women's Day for the past 2-3 decades with so much fervor and enthusiasm. One would assume the violence against women and the crime rate would have greatly reduced, and we would have ensured gender equality by now. But the statistics we have been accumulating regarding the crime rate against women has been steeply rising at an alarming level. Historically, physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, child and women trafficking, domestic violence, violence against women in public spaces, educational institutions, workplaces, and their own homes were the concern for us. Now, women are being targeted, abused, stalked, trolled, duped, and sexually abused in cyberspaces too. Yes, we already knew that pornographic content and visual media in many forms have exploited women and children. Now, the pandemic in 2019 and 20 had taken the technology-facilitated violence against women to a new level. Definition of technology-facilitated violence against women is any act that is committed, assisted, aggravated, or amplified by the use of information, communication technologies, or other digital tools that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, psychological, social, political, or economic harm or other infringement of rights and freedom. It is prevalent and has severe impacts on women. Women are more likely to be targeted because of their sex and gender identity. They experience more severe forms of violence and are also more likely to face serious and longer lasting negative impacts. Often online violence leads to offline violence. To avoid onslaught of violence, women often opt out of traveling on social media platforms. I remember when we used to have cell phones and landlines, when we used to get crank calls at home or our cell phones, we either changed our phone number or stop attending the unknown calls. Well, the same thing is happening in social media. Either the targeted women block them or they go offline. Many women journalists, entrepreneurs, politicians, celebrities, homemakers, professionals, media persons, doctors or teachers, anyone and everyone who are targeted are choosing to stay silent or discouraged to travel in social media platform. This is absolutely sad because the voice of half the planet is silence, and it is like retreating back to old days where everyone kept their opinion to oneself. Also, I am not an advocate of sharing everything on the public platform. But many of the public would like to share their lives activities on the social media platform. In today's world, consensus and ratification have become more important. Accepted by general public and unknown strangers have become an important. So, irrespective of male or female, people love to share their everyday on social media platforms, and getting likes and being shared is the norm of the day. Acceptance, consensus, ratification of whether one person is beautiful or whether one's activity is or individual action is appreciated, accepted, or ratified decides the person's personality. Does it mean that those who crave for acceptance or consensus have low self-esteem or low self-confidence? It might not be the case. They can have super ego, or they might gain confidence after getting few hundred likes. It leads to judgmental views. Sometimes it is shocking to see a derogatory comment garnering more support than a criticism. Anonymity is another advantage to the perpetrator of the crime. In the physical world, mob behavior gives the perpetrators anonymity in gang violence. In the social media digital world, anonymity is guaranteed and it gives the criminals a much desired protection. How do we address this issue? We have to change the attitude of the victims and also our attitude towards the victims. Ideally, family honor always lies with the female gender or female member of the family. Patriarchal nature of the society ensures that women are judged differently and women and girl children are brought up with different standards. The responsibility lies in the society to make sure that both women have the same rules and responsibilities and the same standards for career building and safe upbringing. As parents and grandparents, we have to teach our younger generation to say no to drug, no to alcohol, and no to online blackmail the first time it starts. Also, we have to tackle this issue by defining cyber laws. Countries of the world have different cyber laws because we don't have uniformity in any one thought on how to formulate and provide the law because the definition for cybercrime was not uniform. India has the Information and Technology Act 2000, which protects only e-commerce and financial institutions from the attacks of cybercrimes. Internet crimes against women is less discussed or less attempted to address, which left countless victims suffering in silence. Although there is an Indian central law, Indecent Representation of Women, Prohibition Act 1986, IPC section like 509 and 292, which prohibited publications and advertisements containing indecent representation of women. The present law should have use of current website, appointing women investigative officers and special courts for women and also cases and special cybercrime courts. Victims and their identities and their privacy have to be protected at all costs. Family, police, and judiciary and law has to protect the victim at all costs. Ideally, and uniform law is preferred to deal with the popular foreign social media platforms like Facebook, Google, Yahoo, TikTok, X, etc. Although it is a very long way, but we have to approach it one step at a time. Since I represent Pasumai Thaiyagam NGO, which is accredited to United Nations, ECOSOC and UNHRC, I would like to bring to your kind notice climate change is an urgent global issue impacting all of humanity, but not equally. The most vulnerable are the women and children of developing countries. Due to extreme weather events, livelihood of these women is severely threatened, increasing the burden on women and girls who must walk longer distances to find water, exposing them to physical exhaustion, health risks, and safety risks. Climate change forces women and children to displace and become climate refugees, thus exposing them to a violent, unfamiliar, unfriendly environment, subjecting them to physical and sexual abuse. Empower women through education and land rights can significantly enhance their ability to adapt to climate change. So let us not leave anyone behind. Women from rural background and women from urban background who are both affected by technology facilitated cyber violence and climate change facilitated inequalities, and we work towards a crime-free, violence-free, safer future for women and children. Thank you so much. I now invite the eminent Dr. S. Rachel for giving her talk today to address the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.